birth control. Does the coil hurt? Do contraception apps really work? When should I stop the pill if I'm trying to conceive? Textbook versus the truth. Let's find out with our birth control 101.
I can recommend lesbianism.
I've had a vasectomy, so...
It's safe. He's sterile.
Withdrawal method?
No, Matt, stop.
We are so lucky today. We have a whole host of different forms of contraception. Pills, patches, implants, injections, coils, the intrauterine system. So we've got a lot of different options available to us. And I think sometimes women come into our surgery and say they want the pill, when actually probably what they really mean is I want a form of contraception which is something over and above the condom. I want something a bit more long term. Starting contraception after a child very much depends on what form of contraception you are going to choose. So things like a coil or an IUS can be fitted within 48 hours. If you leave it for longer than that, you need to wait for about 4 weeks to let everything settle down. And actually I tend to wait nearer 6 weeks just to allow the uterus to completely settle. If you're looking at obviously things like condoms and femidoms, you can use straight away.
So the oral contraceptive pill can come in two versions. It can be the combined pill that's got estrogen as well as progesterone, or it can be the mini pill which just has progesterone in it.
Now, when I was 14, I went on a pill. I did it because I had bad acne. It was getting me down and the doctor suggested that I go on a pill. It really did help my acne, so that was cool. It also helped with my periods, which were really, really heavy and really hard to cope with.
We currently use the pill, although I would quite like if he got snip. A common side effect of the pill is that it can cause mood swings, but something that they don't really talk about is that it can cause anxiety, especially if you are prone to anxiety.
The next big category of contraception is the coil, and this can either be the copper coil or it can be the Mirena coil, which contains progesterone as the hormone in it.
The doctor advised me to have the hormonal coil. That was disastrous for me. It actually put me into murderous mode. I have the Mirena coil, which is the hormonal coil, which lasts up to 5 years, and I'm getting on with it quite well so far.
And it's almost as good as actually having a sterilisation. The male condom is easy to use and apply, and the great thing is that it helps to protect you from STDs. However, they can interrupt sex to put on and can sometimes lead to less spontaneous sex, which is a bit of a turn off for a lot of couples.
So me and Tim, we stick to condoms, although we're kind of on the verge of getting the big schnippity-snip for Tim. We've just booked our dog in for the old schnippity-snip, and we were a little bit like, do you do a 2-for-1?
Two implants, and that's just a little plastic thing that goes in your arm and just lets off the hormones slowly, and yeah, like the procedure, everything's fine. It's numb. Like all you feel is the needle when you're having the anesthetic. Like it goes on for a couple of minutes. You have a bit of bruising for a week or so.
I've had the contraceptive implant, which has been a total nightmare. Since I've had it, I've basically been bleeding non-stop, and I've been feeling really ill lately. And I think it's because I may be a bit anemic from losing the blood, so from bleeding constantly for basically 2 months. I've been getting dizziness, been having to go to bed early, been really tired.
The contraceptive injection, or the depot, is another common version of taking a contraceptive. This involves injecting into your arm, which is done by someone who's trained to do it. The great news is that this lasts for 12 weeks. But because it does just contain progesterone, you can get some side effects that are associated with this synthetic version of the hormone. So that's things like bloating or breast tenderness or irritability or changes in mood.
If you absolutely don't want to get pregnant, unless you are prepared to be completely religious with these apps and trackers and so on, then I think we just need to be realistic that they're not as reliable as some other forms of contraception.
There is this kind of cultural shift towards using some more naturally based products. So these are things like apps or particular sticks or monitors that you can use in order to try and predict your most fertile window and try and avoid that. The vaginal ring is a really useful contraceptive and alternative to the combined pill that you don't have to remember to take every day. You insert it into your vagina and it stays there for 3 weeks, after which you remove it, have a period and insert a new one. If it does slip out, you can wash it in warm water and put it back in again. The great thing is that you can continue to have sex with it still inside. If you might be worried that your usual contraception hasn't been as effective as it should be, so if you've been ill for any reason or taking any antibiotics or other medicines, vomiting, having diarrhea, or perhaps a condom might have broken or split, then it's really important that you go and seek emergency contraception from your pharmacist or go and see your GP immediately.
Click the link below to learn all about boobs, periods, birth control and all those important vaginas. See you there!